Some might call him one of the pioneers of the Kansas City film community. Others call him the film peddler. John Shipp has seen it all, though. As the most successful independent film distributor in the golden age of Kansas City's film, he changed the way Hollywood promotes movies for all time. John also created the Greater Kansas City Film Society and Cinema KC. A new biography called him the film peddler by brothers Devin and Shannon Kelly, and it tells his fascinating story. John, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure to be here.
All right, you told me that you're a local motion picture desperado, isn't that right?
Well, you know, I'm referred to that by certain people.
Okay,
yes.
More accurately?
Although I've never been indicted. You know,
okay, yeah. But more accurately, you're an independent film booker around here.
Well, I'm a theater booker. You know, I've been booking the films that play into all the Kansas City area drive-ins for 20-plus years, and the Screenland Crown Center is one that we're doing some of the specialty films, art films, some discount houses. But yes, people pay me to go to movies.
That's great. A lot of people would love that job. All right, so you're here. You're going to talk about this. This is a new movie, and it's sort of about your life, but it's also sort of about other things, right?
Well, it has a lot to do with the wonderful era of the 70s when there were a tremendous number of independent films playing everywhere. But if you ever went to a drive-in theater back in the 70s, almost certainly you would have seen some of the films that we handled back then, that we distributed.
Okay, and then you're talking about exploitation films. For somebody who's not a film buff, would you describe that briefly, an exploitation film?
In the 70s, this meant films like Halloween, Harper Valley PTA, Big Bad Mama, Gone in 60 Seconds, Death Race 2000, The Student Teachers, The Student Body, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, I remember that one. That was a good one. All right, and then so these, now a lot of times these movies have cult followings, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then so this movie sort of deals with how these films were distributed through Kansas City.
Well, not just through Kansas City, but through the entire Midwest region and actually throughout the entire country.
Okay, anything particularly fascinating you want to point out about that right now? I'm sure there's a lot, but
it was a wonderful time to be in the film industry because, see, back in the 70s, people don't realize, unless they've been in the business, that Kansas City was really a hotbed. I mean, all the major studios had offices here. You know, Fox was here, Disney was here, MGM, et cetera, et cetera. They were all here. And we had really a thriving film community. The independent part of it was just one portion.
And they were filming movies here?
Well, there's always been movies filmed here. And most recently, within the last couple of years, Robert Altman's made a couple, as a matter of fact. But yes, we got a great history here.
Okay, great. And anything else you want to talk about with this movie? Is it going to play locally? Where can we see it?
Well, the movie was essentially made more for direct sales to video. It's, you know, it was something, it's not shot on film, of course. It was done digitally, which is the way most independent documentaries are being done. But if you've got any interest at all in independent films or in exploitation films, it's got a lot to do with the history of the industry and the history of Kansas City movies. So if you want to have a fairly good time, so far, even people like Bob Butler saw it and enjoyed it immensely. So it's a good sign anyway.
Yeah, okay. And we hope to see it at some local theaters, perhaps.
Perhaps,
we'll cross our fingers,
absolutely.
But otherwise you can see it online and maybe even
you can order it on
Amazon.
Video
store on Amazon.com. John, thank you very much for coming.
It was my pleasure.
Very fascinating story. I'm sure if we saw the movie, we'd get a lot more fascinating
information. You'll have a good time.
All right, we'll be back with another look at your forecast, the rain, your weekend outlook, and more news coming up.